Hello, my name is Ariana Donald and I am majoring in marketing at GSU. Hello, my name is Ariana Donald and today I'm going to show you how to do common separated value in Excel. So the first step of common separated value is to have a list of data. So right now our list of data is a little jumbled up as we have the first, last, hero, and debut year all together. I'm going to show you how to separate that to make it a little more presentable. So all you're going to do is click on wherever your data is. My data is mainly in the first column, which is column A. So then I'm going to go over to the data and then I'm going to click on a thing called text to columns. The text to columns will help you sort your data into where it'll be more presentable and more readable. So when you click on it, a box will pop up and it'll give you two different ways, either delimited or fixed width for your data. For this type of data, we're using delimited because our data is separated by tabs and commas. So I'm going to click on next, and then I also have the tab and comma in our common delimiters. Those are the only two tabs that have to be selected. And then you're going to click next again, and then once that is done, you don't have to worry about the third slide, and then just click finish. As you can see, all of the data has now been separated. Now to separate this data even further, I'm going to put this data into a chart, preferably a histogram chart. So what I'm going to do is select all of my data from A1 to D101 because that is where all of my data is. I'm going to scroll back up and then I'm going to go to the insert ribbon, and then instead I'm going to click on recommended charts, and then it'll show you a histogram chart for your recommended charts. I hit OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this chart up into the left corner, my left corner of the chart into F1. I'm gonna go ahead and put that into a specific standard as such. I'm also going to go ahead and move some of my columns to make sure they are also presented in a really decent space as well. You don't want your columns to be a little tacky. All right, so now before I even get started on to the next thing, I am going to change my chart title to be labeled heroes because that is kind of what the data is representing is heroes, because you want whoever to look at your spreadsheet know what you're talking about. So next thing, in order to separate this data, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to custom sort my data. So custom sort is basically just where you sort your data to where it's in a more presentable space. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and select all of my data in the debut year, except for debut year because that's our label. And I'm going to go right back into the data ribbon and I'm going to go into the sort. So for this sort, what you want to do is you want to sort it from largest to smallest. So I'm going to do, let's say, Z through A, which is your large to small. A box will pop up and tell you to either expand or continue with your selection. We're going to select continue and then sort. And now all of our data has been sorted in regards to the year that the heroes debuted, and the rest is followed through. But we're going to do the same thing along with the heroes. But this time we're going to swap it out and we are going to do smallest to largest. So I'm going to go ahead and click on sort that, continue, and sort. And there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my first and last names to make sure they are also all in order. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do A through Z, continue. And then finally, the last one, which is your first name through Z, and then continue. All right, so all of the data has been custom sort. So now I'm going to show you how to go even further by using a function in order to figure out how much of a certain data you have. And this will be called the COUNTIF function. So I'm going to represent this in the box E2. So I'm going to type in count, and then COUNTIF should pop up. And then with COUNTIF, there's only two different types of ranges. You have your range and your criteria. So since let's say if we wanted to look and see how many Batgirls we had, instead of doing the entire table, we would select only the data of the hero table and that's what we would use. And then I'm also going to have a comma, and then our criteria would be what we're looking for. So as you can see, there are a few Batgirls in the chart. So let's say I want to do maybe C9, and that's one of our Batgirls. I'm going to close paren and I'm going to hit enter. And as soon as that happens, you get 4, meaning that there are 4 Batgirls within our data. But let's try to go with something even more descriptive. Let's try a filter. So in this instance, a filter basically just helps you figure out what you're kind of looking for, and it helps even more. And it's a little bit faster than the countif function. So let's say instead of just going with Batgirl, let's try the girls. So let's go in and add a filter to the hero column. So I'm going to be in the data ribbon and I'm going to click on filter. So once I click on filter, you should see a square box with a triangle in it. I'm going to click on that box. When I click on that box, it shows you all of your filters. So if we're looking for anybody with any hero with the name girl in their name, let's try searching. So as soon as I type in girl, all of the filters get together, and then you want to keep the filters there and select all search results. I'm going to click OK. And as soon as that happens, the filter of the girl has been expanded. It's no longer it's no longer the rest of the heroes. It's just Batgirls, Power Girl, and Supergirls. So now I'm gonna go ahead and expand that chart just to make it a little bigger for a more view. And at the end, and then all of that is together and you have all of your separated